Welcome to the end of the week when the children went back to school in a blizzard, and that wasn't all. On Tuesday night in my area, we had a 90-minute power cut just before the final episode of our favourite television serial. It was very boring. I think the whole district was in bed by 9:30. It'll mean a lot of new schools, I'm afraid. One of the main stories of the week has been Clint Eastwood's entry into local politics. I wonder if he's heard the last of his defeated opponent, Charlotte Townsend. Now, she probably remembers that the star of The Good, the Bad and the Ugly and Paint Your Wogan also made a film called Revenge of the Creature, so we'll have to see. There was a nice story in Private Eye about a bloke in Croydon who decided to rob his local shops. He wrote a note saying that he had a gun and wanted money, and he said afterwards, I gave it to the girl in the chemist's. She refused to read it because she thought it might be obscene. I took it to the sweet shop, but the man there couldn't speak English. And then I went to the Chinese takeaway, and the manager said he'd lost his glasses and told me to wait outside while he looked for them. Soon afterwards, the police arrived and arrested me. It's a bit like that story of Jim Davidson's about the man who went into his local Chinese restaurant, pointed a gun and said, I want all your money. And the waiter said, to take away? Now, let me tell you about tonight's show. It may be months till the royal wedding, but the souvenir industry is already cashing in. Horse riding was once all Fiona's from Farnborough. Now Sharon's from Stratford are at it too. And as the British Bathroom Council tells us that Brits don't like baths, we discover how to make bath time fun.
Slow feet.
Most people dread a wet wedding day, but if one young couple don't get soaked, their wedding day will be a washout.
Michael, we've brought you some pretty rare old nuptials on the show in the past, and tonight is just another chapter in our continuing wedding saga. We'll be uncovering the reasons why this charming young couple are rehearsing their wedding in London's biggest bathroom. See you later for the big splash. Up in London.
Looks like a scene from Dynasty, doesn't it? Anyway, our guest this week is a disc jockey who is never at home unless he's in the saddle. But all that's in a minute or two. First, over to Thames and Tricia Ingrams and John Andrew for tonight's regional news.
Thank you, Michael.
Welcome back. Andy and Fergie will make quite a splash with their do in Westminster Abbey, but when it comes to originality, they're not a patch on Geoff Oldfield and Hazel Dalby, as Andy Price reveals.
Michael, you join us live from the sanctuary, where we're going to bring you our marital first. We are going to bring you the dry run, the rehearsal of the underwater wedding of Geoff Oldfield and his lovely bride-to-be, Hazel Dalby. Hazel, you're a driving instructress. You sell fruit machines, so I suppose it's obvious you're going to be married underwater. How did that all come about?
Started out as a huge joke.
Yeah.
Down at the diving club, we were getting married, and they said, it's obvious, get married underwater.
And here you are doing it.
It's true.
Now listen, there are a few obvious problems. How are you going to breathe when you're down there?
We've actually got the aqualung.
Oh, underneath the veil is the tackle.
That's it.
That's the bit. You are a good, strong swimmer, are
Oh,
you?
yes, good strong swimmer.
Now, what are you going to be wearing on the day?
A full wedding dress and full veil. And it's going to be specially weighted to make sure it doesn't actually flow up to the surface.
So keep you decent on the
It does,
day.
it keeps me decent
Excellent.
on the day.
Well, I hope it all goes extremely well. Good to know you're good, strong swimmers. The vicar has been called, Michael. Dr. Martin, there he is. And when they go off, Michael, I should tell you, it'll be in 8 feet. These young people taking the marital plunge into 8 feet of lovely blue water. Join us later for the nuptials when these young people take the plunge.
Yes, I like the rehearsal costume very much, don't you? Now, when Richard III yelled, a horse, my kingdom for a horse, he didn't realise that he could have joined the pony club like everyone else. Because riding used to be a pastime more associated with the rolling pastures of Surrey. And play, I thought it was going to be a musical tie. I thought there was a battery in the top of it. Yeah, yes, that would have done. came back. Now it is time to go back to the sanctuary in Covent Garden where Geoff and Hazel are about to take the plunge.
Michael, you join us at the crucial moment, just as this underwater wedding rehearsal is about to reach the crucial stage. On hand, Geoff Oldfield, his lovely bride, Hazel Dalby, just about to come down the steps into the pool. She's wearing something blue, something borrowed. The vicar, Dr. Martin Hassocks, is on hand. Oh, there goes the bouquet to the mart, and they've taken the plunge into the deep. They are now, it can be said, spread upon the water of life. Everything all right, Hazel?
It's fine, thank you.
Good. Tank on?
Tank's on.
Something borrowed on?
Something borrowed.
Right, not too nervous?
Not too nervous.
Right, OK, Vicar. This is a first for you, isn't it?
It's unique for me, yes.
Right, OK, go to it, chaps. Take the plunge. And now the couple recede down into 8 feet pale blue water. The vicar joins them. And he's just addressing his vows in international divers sign language to Geoffrey. Yes, if I'm any reader of bubbles, that's a yes, I do. He's doing the same thing now. And the ring is about to be exchanged. No mean feat in 8 feet of water. It has been exchanged quite faultlessly. And the ceremony is about to be solemnized with a kiss. A great technical feat under these conditions. A certain number of concessions have had to be made to this unusual environment, but I think it behoves me to be the very first to kiss the bride.
Oh, I think I prefer Jaws, really. Anyway, good luck to them. May all their bubbles be little ones. Now, this week, a report was issued by something called the British Bathroom Council, which contains some amazing insights into our personal habits. For example, did you know that women have 4 baths a week while men have only 3.5? That men bathe to get clean, whereas women do it to relax and unwind, and that men stay in the bath 2 minutes longer than women do. Now, this has raised some more interesting questions. Are women naturally cleaner than men? And what do men get up to in those extra 2 minutes? Andy Price, of course, went to discover, but don't panic, he will be keeping his clothes on this time.
We might not be great ones for having a bath, but when it comes to choosing a bathroom suite, well, we're still pretty fussy. You see, you've got to find one that's exactly right for you. And, of course, for whoever you intend to share it with. Once you've found the perfect tub, you can get up to all sorts of things at bath time.
Hey, I reckon that's big enough.
If I'm feeling frivolous, I drink champagne. If I'm feeling boring, I'll read a book.
Sunday's the newspaper day. Read the newspapers for about an hour in the bath on Sundays.
Wash my hair, wash my face, legs, arms, and that's about it. I'm not any further.
Of course, there's a lot more to having a bath than simply sitting in a tub of hot water. It can become the major event of the day. Of course, there are those people who stop short at a few bath toys. A fish, an inflatable leg, rubberized hard-boiled egg. And then, of course, there are those that take it even more seriously.
For comedian Johnny Laff, the bathroom is a sort of office. He takes to the tub to do some good, solid work, thinking up wet jokes for his act.
What I do in the bath, I get my inspirations. I mean, impressions come out of me all the time. I mean, I've got some material. Put it all on my head. Oh, look at this. And it's a berry now. And I go, hello there. Oh, my name is Frank Spencer, and here we have a little duck. And the little duck is going to have a baby. And there he is, look, a little baby there, like Jessica. Oh, he's had twins, look at this.
He does a mean Bellamy in the bath, too.
I'm going to put a bit of soap on here and... loads and loads of really, really wonderful, scrumptious, beautiful bath time. I love my bath.
Oh, what a beautiful morning.
But John is not the only performer who seeks inspiration in the bath.
I got a
The sweet voice of Hackney's leading amateur singer, Mervyn Davies, can oft be heard booming around his bathroom walls. You see, Marvin sees his bath as a kind of concert hall.
When I'm in another room, I don't know whether it's because of the carpets or the furniture or what it is, but somehow the acoustics just aren't there. But in a bathroom, everything resounds from the walls, and you can really hear yourself.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful
Quite lovely. Thank you, Mervyn. Now, some people, like the Levies of Belsize Park, take bath time so seriously, they've turned their bathroom into the most important place in the house. It's a veritable art gallery, and even the loos a genuine Victorian antique. It's where the family spends most of its time.
Well, we have a play group going on at the moment. A couple of Alexander's best friends come here to play twice a week, and sometimes things take place in the bathroom. Like today, they've all decided to have a bath together. Doorbell goes, people come down with a cup of tea, perhaps a drink, and someone will sit on the toilet, someone will sit on the chair, someone will lean over the bath, we'll just all muck in together.
But there's one man who knows how to have the ultimate bath time experience. Designer David Schilling thinks there's only one way to take a bath. Fill the tub with hot water, add plenty of bubbles, treat yourself to a dish of crystallized violets, and don't forget the chilled champagne.
Cheers.
Ah, bliss.
Well, that's enough fun. We come now to a serious moment because Danny has challenged me to a race. His Donald against my Mickey. My Mickey's a bit of a
You've been
champion.
trotting for a long while now.
Joanna wouldn't join in the fun except to blow the whistle. Are you ready?
Ready?
Hey, come on, Mickey, look.
Oh, no. Duck. Get up there. Look.
That's still
that's that.
Let's try it again.
One more.
One more. Quick.
All right.
Best
Otherwise,
of
that
two.
half a shandy is going my way, you know.
He's the worst swimmer in the world.
I seem to be
He's
ahead
got
of
away
you
with it.
this particular time.
almost
well, there
got
it is as I pass Kew Bridge.
Oh, what jolly fun.
I'm glad I'm in a news programme.
So,
Right.
apart from sex-mad horses, have you actually done any programmes to do with bathrooms?
No, but I once, when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, commentated on a lady with her toes stuck in the bath. And she was 16 stone, this lady. It was in Australia, in Sydney. And they actually had to get a block and tackle, not to get her out, but to get the bath out. They got the bath out of the house through the window, which they removed the window, got the lady, the bath, and landed the lady on the lawn before they took the toe out. And the lady didn't even ask for a towel across her boobs. Very impressive.
Never seen a bath before, she said. Joanna, you've actually taken the plunge, haven't you?
Yes, I've done a whole programme from a bath, actually. I looked a bit like a sodden prune at the end of it, because I was in the bath 3/4 of an hour, getting hotter and hotter and hotter. You know, and my modesty there wasn't much left of my modesty at the end of the programme, which is probably why I'll never work for it again.
Oh, well, thank you for working for us, and we'll see you again. So that's the show for tonight. I have to thank Joanna and Danny and Simon, and of course, good luck to Geoff and Hazel in their underwater nuptials. In 3 months' time, who knows, an underwater divorce. See you next week. Bye-bye.